into Butterfly Alley, China Opera House, and more over 1 million lives.
What's going on, you guys? So today I'm here at Red Zone where we tune our cars, but we aren't tuning any cars. I drove the van here because when you have a lot of things around the house and everywhere else, you kind of forget like items you own, because it's not at my house. And I came over here to pick up my CSS motor. If you guys don't remember, the CSS motor used to be in my CRX back in 2017, and then we took it out and put it in Daniel's car. Found out that one of the pistons actually broke, and then replaced all of the pistons, and then Daniel's car decided he wanted to melt everything right there. But it has eagle rods and it's a good CSS block, so I think all it really needs is a nice cleaning and rehone. So the reason why I'm picking up this block is for two reasons. One, I was going to use the LS rod on the PR3 pistons for an all-motor build that I was trying to do, and then I thought about it, I did some research, and people were going maximum 82 mil on a CSS block and making a ton of power. So if I decide I want to get the CRX up and going sooner without using a sleeve block, I can do 82 mil here, swap the internals over, and then do the LSV-Tech conversion, because my motor is a GSR, and get the CRX back on the dyno, maybe with PL5 speed. But because the cylinder wall got messed up from the piston itself, Guy told me to do like one cylinder. I believe it's this one is the worst, 81.9, to see if that can clean up, so that way they don't proceed to try to do all of them and spend a lot of money for nothing. So if 81.9 cleans that up, 82 mil should clean the whole cylinders, and then we can make this block usable again. So the plans with the GSR sleeve block, I wanted to deck it and then O-ring the block, but Guy was telling me to step deck it, but given that it's already 5 thou like below deck, I'm not sure step decking, you know, is going to help my issue because of how far we're going to deck the block to make the block usable again, to have a step deck. But he gave me this little tool right here. I don't know what it's called like terminology wise, but he told me to use this, set it on a flat surface, zero the gauge out, right, and then put this on the block, turn the piston to TDC, and we're trying to be somewhere between 15 thou to 30 thou, and then if that's our reading on the GSR block in the car, then we could do the step deck, because minimum is like 15, he said. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm not spending too much time here, guys. I got to get back home before it rains, before the sun goes down, and the guys are here at the shop cleaning the whole thing, and I don't want to get in their way. So yeah, I think I'm gonna head out now. I've been here for like maybe an hour. All right, guys, so I just beat the sunset. We're back home now. 140 miles I just drove, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna measure my block in the CRX. Maybe I'll do it, but oh dang it, I don't have a dolly. That'll work. So I'm kind of curious. Maybe I'll show you guys tomorrow as well too, but right now I'm going to measure my block and give some results back to Guy and see if I can deck my block and have a step deck. That'll do the trick. Got a pro tip this morning that a car came into a junkyard. Had to be the furthest one for me of my 3 yards, and it's got a lot of goodies in it. He just messaged me like maybe 10 minutes ago. The car just dropped. It's not in inventory yet, but I'm gonna drive 25 miles to find out if they are still there. So I got an hour and a half before the junkyard closes, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna walk around, but I'm gonna see if the part's still here, and if it is, we'll take it out. If it's not, we'll see what else is in the yard. He said a couple rows behind the Sylvia front Integra, which is like over here somewhere, but it's a new row. This is the one. DC header, skunk to radiator, skunk to hoses, Pro Cs in good condition. Don't see no leaks on it. Oh, it's got an ASR rear. Got to get down to work. Probably gonna take all that too, since we're here already. I just noticed how clean the motor is. 267. Really clean. Like, not a lot of oil. Scratched off. This is a 94-95, so they come with a sticker. But Dana, don't look at the motor. Check this out. It's got it on both sides. I don't know if I'm tripping, but that spring is really short. And custom single braided line. Oh, it's got an S2K Master. Damn, this thing's got a lot of goodies. You know what's funny? There was a white Integra that was here, and we got the Q8 wheels off of it. This is the end of the row, and there was a B20 that was in there, right? And this is a new road now. The car's gone, but this block is still here, and this block had me in questions because it's a B20 B4, right? But it has really thick sleeves. I'm surprised it's still here. Call around, figure out if this is the stock sleeve or not, because if it's not, I might even take it. Is this a Type R muffler? It's not an added on tip. Mid pipe's gone. Jesus. This one's backward. I need to get away from this car before I start pulling this whole motor out, because I do want an Ellis hydro transmission, because we have a spare shell at my buddy Paco's house, and all the engine rebuild is going to go into that car, and you know, test to make sure that the engine is working and everything. And this is just really clean. You can tell too, because MPW time belt water pump has been changed. And I also noticed like the valve cover gasket box right here, and they wrote down like all of the measurements and specification for this motor. I hope it's for this motor, because if they did, whoever took care of it, it's unfortunate that this car is in the yard and I don't have a wheelbarrow, because all that stuff is going to be really hard to carry out of here, and I don't have Allen keys, so I don't need it. But it's kind of one of those things you don't leave behind. This is also one of those things, OEM Denso starter. It looks brand new too. Fuck. And I do have Allen keys, and none of them fit. No dolly, no problem. So everything they charged me was about $330, and then $20 certificate, $310 give or take. A lot of it was core, so I'm gonna bring some cores back soon. But I don't think it was too bad. I went back, walked through the whole yard, and literally there was no G35 and not that many like Civicated Integras, or at least anything worth taking. So damn, traffic was so bad coming back home that it's freaking dark out. So I got everything here laid out for you guys to show you what I picked up. And I hella forgot the Block's S2000 Clutch Master and the Goodrich stainless steel line. I also got the spacer with it, so somebody can use that. Obviously, we got the ASR brace and the sway bar with all the hardware. And then the Pro C coilovers. I have the same set, like my set that my brother took, and it's on his blue wagon. He's at work right now, and now I have another set, but I'm probably going to sell everything here because I don't have an Integra or an EG or have any use for any of this stuff. The Skunk 2 radiator is fairly brand new, and it is a full size. I took the fan off because I didn't need it, but Skunk 2 right there, and Skunk 2 hoses. It is kind of dark to show you guys this right here, right, that we picked up yesterday, but you know, I got 1, 2, 3 flashlights to stick on the car and show you the readings we get with it. I still don't know how to read it, but I'm gonna send it to Gareth and let him know what it is as far as my result goes and see what he says. So I did research and I did ask Simon. He said that this has to sit on top of the block deck and not the sleeve deck, so I'm gonna set that up right now. So this will work. I got one light up here, yeet. Got one right here, and one over there, oh yeah. So with this tool, I don't know the correct terminology for this, but Gareth needed results to know if my block could be step decked. Now, given that my sleeve, if in this case it's sunk, it's already like 0.005 of an inch lower than the deck, right? And he wants to know like the peak of the piston with this tool, and that'll tell us like how much more can we go down without the piston. Like I don't know how to explain it without the piston like protruding or touching the cylinder head or the valve, right? So what he told me, oh, I left my tool in here. So this tool, you're supposed to set it on a very flat surface or straight edge, right? And this dial is going to move, and then what you do is, did I break my screen again? No, I did not break my screen. Oh, that shit looks broken. No, please tell me it's just a scratch. Crud. So anyways, once the ends of this tools are flat and the dial itself is flat on the surface, right, this needle's gonna stop. So then what you do is make sure that this is tight, right, and then you zero the gauge out. So we're probably about 1 off. I'm gonna move it, let's see, about there. Tool on the deck, right, not moving, and I'm gonna point at the gauge here, and I'm gonna turn the crank. Focus. Damn, the screen is cracked. God dang nibble. So I'm just gonna cycle it through, get the piston on TDC, see where it stops before it moves back. Now I did zero out the gauge, hopefully it didn't move, but here we go. Okay, piston's coming up, right? Whoops, piston already came up, so now I'm gonna go the opposite direction. Okay, I'm gonna bring the pistons back up, see where it stops before it goes back. So right there we're going to 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, so it goes to 94. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to read that because I'm not like familiar with these type of tools, but it goes to 94. I did do this yesterday, sent a video to Gareth and see what he thinks, but if you guys know what this tool is and how to read that, leave a comment below and let me know. So the video of when I removed the crank, we discovered that this crank bearing was like all mangled. Like, it wasn't mangled, but it was like ovaled out, and it was like deformed, right? And this is a brand new main bearing. So on the journal itself, a lot of comments were saying to line hone it, and yeah, it makes sense to do so because of the spun main bearing, but it it doesn't have like deep gouges or anything. You can see all the lines on it, but nothing to the fingernail except this one right here, ever so slightly. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's ever so slightly. I don't know if you can hear my fingernail. This bearing right here is brand new from that right there, and I cleaned it, cleaned the journal, stick it in there. It's really nice and snug in there. Obviously, I don't know the roundness because the bearing does have a little play. Like if you squeeze it, I don't know the true like shape of this journal, but it feels just like every other journal. Going in, feels the same way, nice and snug. Comes out with the same like, you know, like the way it sounds, the way it feels, the drag. It feels all the same. And I get it. We all want a successful engine build, right? And like the reason why I'm doing this motor instead of a B20 is because I have everything to do it. For an 81 mil bore, the Type R block, GSR block, and I don't have like the B20 pistons, piston rings and all that. And the reason why I'm like, I don't want to send it to get line honed, because one, it's not cheap, and two, I can use that money like towards the main motor for the CRX, not that one. So I got the second set of rings in the cylinder, and I can already see that gap. 035 is the biggest on my feeler gauge, and it goes right through. MPR rings, basura. At least MPR did something right for the 81 standard rings. Top ring is at a snug 13. Right off the bat, guys, Y&S piston rings, buy that shit. Right out the box, man, that secondary ring is already looking a ton better. You can see it's not a giant gap like the last. And this is secondary, this is top ring, and I measured it just now, 013, and it's a drag, like it's snugged. It's really snugged. Or it might even be a 12. Look at that. I can't even touch the cylinder wall. There we go. So this is the top ring at 013, which is freaking awesome. And then for the secondary ring, 021, snugged. Look at that. Not 035, 021. So now we have a ring set for this block. You know, it's funny, like when I'm sitting here waiting for the piston rings to come in, like, I'm so anxious to get it in because like I cannot wait to build this motor, and for some reason I felt like I know what I was doing, and I felt like I've built motors like internally before, waiting for these rings to come in. And now that we finally have a set of piston rings that'll work for this motor, I'm excited. So I'm gonna cut the video right here, guys. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do the rest of the night, but if you guys haven't seen the new Boosted Boys video and Meticulous, kind of want to start working on my wagon. You know, I finished all the all-wheel drive stuff like weeks and weeks ago, and it's all like ready to be installed, but I'm not sure why I'm not touching it. I hope you guys enjoyed the Junkyard run. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'm super stoked to have scored all of this. Thank you, Kenneth, for the tip. And Lucy is just sleeping there with her face pointing towards the carpet. Hey, what are you doing? I'm sure I'll figure something out with that block as far as the main crank journal goes, but stick around for that, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, so I know I closed out the video already, but this is a bonus video, so if you guys stay to the very end, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're over here at my buddy's Robert's shop, and he's pretty much liquidating everything because he's moving to Texas. So he told me to come over here, and hey man, whatever I need or want except that toolbox, I can have. And so far we got a whole bunch of DA brake pads, brand spanking new, and he also gave me a set of Type R pistons with rings. So these are 81 standard, you know, I'll put that in use in one of my billion blocks. But he also told me if I need some 81 mil blocks, he's got a bunch of them too. You know what I'm saying? The supercharger may be for sale. You might be parting it out.
$700.
700 bucks.
GSR.
Poor man's Type R. You got a lot of little goodies. He's got an EK too. So maybe I'll throw his Instagram in the description below and see if there's something that you need that you could ask if he has. Maybe he'll sell it to you. So but yeah, I'll show you guys a lot of these stuff or whatever it is that I'm gonna end up taking in the next video. So peace. We came here for In-N-Out Burger and didn't realize there's a meet going on, and the cops blocking everybody in. Shit, we eating, bro. We hungry. So random.